Welcome to another Physique recap. We're here to recap the Charlotte Pro that just happened this past weekend with IFBB Pro Jordan Clark. So thanks for coming back, Jordan.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so yeah, this was a big show. It was a pretty stacked lineup coming off the two Arnolds. So what did you think about it overall?
I thought it was a really good show. Saw Emmanuel Hunter brought a lot of improvements in his posing, and overall just presentation in general. So he looked really balanced here. Showed a great physique. Congratulations on that win. Carlos Ocran looked great as well. And Jeremy Potvin making his way into that third spot. So that
Yeah,
was a that was a very refreshing thing to see.
really nice to see
Um,
Jeremy come back after all the stuff he had to go through last year, and he came back
definitely,
with a really good
definitely.
physique.
Yeah,
Um,
came in shape. Came in
yeah,
shape. The rust clearly didn't matter. Time off clearly didn't matter. He got right back to it. That's that muscle maturity and that's that professionalism that I've been saying. When guys say like such a long time off, they might not be able to do it. I'm like, you'll be able to do it. You just got to do it.
yeah,
Clearly, Jeremy was able to do it. And well-deserved placing.
yeah. And then we had Amit in fourth and George Brown in fifth. So here's the top five from the NPC News Online. So this is the first call out. I think over here, cut off Travis in sixth. But yeah,
Yeah.
these are the top five. So, did you agree with all the placings, or the certain ones you would have flipped? What did you think overall?
Um, I did agree with all the placings that NPC Online didn't post the final
Yeah, so
lineup. So we're dealing with this, everybody. This
these
is
are the
not the right
results.
place. Yeah,
Yeah.
the results
So
are good on the NPC site, but on NPC Online, they only have this photo. So that's what we're dealing
yeah,
with.
actually,
But yeah,
what if I do the comparison pictures here?
shit might pop up.
Yeah, we have a lot more here to go off of now.
Okay,
Okay, let
why
me.
they why they just post that?
Okay, so here we have the top six, and we can kind of go through and look at these different comparison shots. So here, all right. So let's look at the front first. So break it down for us.
I like how he came out this show. He looks much more bubbly.
Yeah.
Still holding that conditioning really well. And fixed his posing a bit to where it doesn't look as awkward in that front pose. So he did fix that. Brought his shoulders, nice and parallel to the stage, and not leaning too far back. So that was pretty good. That's pretty good. And George,
His
George looks
posing.
good. Yeah, he said what?
I think he looked really good from the updates I saw, but his posing is
Yeah, his
not
posing's
good.
not from when we see him on the sides, all the side angles looking at like facing him to his front. He looks really good, but when he's
Yeah.
in this front pose, he's just too just looks a little bit uncomfortable. Doesn't look too comfortable in that pose. Um, if anything, I would say he would probably just have to, lean a little bit more forward, rotate his shoulders a little more facing the judges, face forward a little more because he doesn't have the craziest shoulder
Mhm.
width. So you want to be able to see, both of those shoulders. Abs look great though.
His abs are
Pretty,
perfect.
yeah,
His
yeah, pretty
midsection.
good, pretty great conditioning. So
Yeah.
then just a bit more, fullness in the chest. He needs just definitely more chest development.
Yeah, especially you see him
And
next to Eman. Eman's chest is like
yeah,
it's so bubbly.
yeah, really bubbly. So and then we got Jeremy Potvin. Jeremy, it's his first show back. After 2 years, he had a little bit of stage rust. Like his look came in, but a little bit of that just stage awareness. He just needed to face more towards the judges.
Mhm.
Whenever your guys are on the ends of, if you're in a call out, if you're where Travis Yao is all the way to the left, or if where Jeremy is all the way to the right, you always want to face yourself towards the judges. So I would say either put your back foot back a bit further and, like I said, just angle like you're facing towards the judges, your whole body from your chest should be facing to the judges. Um, yeah, Jeremy just angled himself just straight on, and that's not letting the judges see your full physique. But he ended up getting moved, of course, but because he also has great conditioning, he definitely is in shape. And they already know his physique. He's been here like a million times, so these judges know him. Just like George, Eman as well. So
Yeah.
I would say No, he's hitting his front post, but a bit of overposing. You see his right pec is definitely flexed.
Yeah.
It should be relaxed like everybody else is here. I mean, Carlos Ocran also has that issue a bit as well in his front pose. He kind of flexes that right pec a little bit. Um, so that's a bit of overposing. But other than that, pretty good presentation from him in the front pose. Just a bit more tan. I mean, that's
Yeah.
many people
His
you just
color is
got to
definitely different than everyone else's.
yeah, and unfortunately, sometimes some guys just don't know because of the lighting of the show. Like, I mean, George Brown is a dark skinned man, but you can see him in this light. It is very bright
Mm.
in certain spots. Also, I heard too, Davion was at the show. He said that one of the head judges, I mean, not one of the head judges, one of the ushers was covering one of the lights on the side of the stage. So it's some guys' light wasn't hitting
Oh,
them.
that's
Yeah,
interesting.
so so
Yeah.
that was something he told me about. Amit, definitely a great look here. Really good conditioning in the abs. Um, what I could say is for him, he's pulling his right shoulder too far back, trying to show off his front. He should. I mean, he brought a great physique, but he kind of is flattening himself out here. Um, and a bit, it's making him look a tad bit narrow. Um,
And he already doesn't have the smallest waist either. So I think that's even
yeah, doesn't have
more
the
important.
smallest waist. Yeah, and if he just brought that right arm forward a little bit, and angled his shoulders a tad bit more, not all the way to the side, because it seems like he's trying to bring that left side up as well, and he is contracting his chest a tad bit there as well, and the result of that. So I always tell everybody, it's you're presenting your physique. It's a pose. You don't, you know, need to force yourself to be in a pose. And to be honest, he probably would have benefited from hitting a Superman pose. To be honest, uh, just because he doesn't have the widest shoulders, and
Mm.
trying to make yourself wide with not wide shoulders isn't the best, especially if you're trying to face the front. And he's kind of over, in my opinion, over facing, kind of ruin his depth perception a bit. You know, it's all about illusions in bodybuilding sometimes. If you don't have it, hide it or make yourself look like you have it. Um, Now off to Carlos Ocran. Carlos, this is a pretty good front post for him. He kind of is leading too far to the left though, definitely tilting to the left. He's typically always done that with hand on hip and non-hand on hip. For him, I feel like he shouldn't have his hands on hip. He has really long arms. You don't need it. Uh, Make sure your shoulders are definitely level to the stage. Seems like a bit more ab conditioning would be in his favor here, um, as well as
Yeah.
and definitely he has a. And I like to make this very clear. People need to understand the difference between a big chest and a full chest. Carlos Ocran has a very big chest. He has very wide insertions for his chest. He has a great drop in his chest, but his chest is not the fullest chest on stage. He can bring a lot more fullness in the upper chest, which is just either development, his peak, whatever it may be. He's not the most conditioned. He has great conditioning in certain spots, but he can also bring a lot more conditioning. He definitely could use a lot more conditioning. There's no one here who has perfect conditioning, and I don't want to hear anybody say they're perfect. If you're not winning, now repeat winner, um, then don't say you're perfect. Because even guys who are like Ryan Terry, who seemingly had small things to change, like 1% changes literally, like a change in a front pose and a tiny bit more to back development. And he managed to go from, I forget what placing he
Yeah.
was.
Seventh to first.
Yes, yeah, seventh to
Yeah.
first. So I'm like, it's small incremental things that make a massive difference, especially when you're going against top guys,
Yeah.
period. And I said this plenty of times. It's centimeters difference when it comes to some of these things. Some people don't believe that. I'm not going to say who, but some people don't believe that. And clearly, when I say some of these things, I don't just say it out thin air. I said a lot of these things, and then Tyler comes out with a review of the show recap, and I'm like, I said the same exact thing 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so
So Carlos, a little
yeah,
bit tighter conditioning, fuller
well, yeah, a
chest.
little tighter conditioning. Yeah, back looks
Back was
phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Back looks
Yeah.
phenomenal. Can't hate, not definitely love that. Bit more shoulder development would also help him. Bit more, just a bit more. Just show a little bit more conditioning in those arms. He just seems a tad bit watery. Has a bit of film on him.
Mm.
bit more chest fullness and bringing those abs a bit more as well. Just really work on those abs. And because I heard also he hit a oblique shot, apparently. If you don't have great obliques, don't hit him.
Yeah.
He has a great physique, but not the prettiest obliques to be hitting an oblique shot. Do not hit an oblique shot.
All right. So
Um,
finally, let's move on to E-Man, the winner.
mhm.
I don't know if we have a full. Hopefully, this is a full video of him.
He has a full video on his page, I believe.
Yeah. So compare this look to this other couple looks
Um,
past couple weeks. What do you think?
Definitely. He brought. Some people like to say hardness. I he definitely brought a leaner look. I mean, it could be hardness too, but it looks like he came in a tad bit leaner. Um, Not too much. He seemed a bit, how you say, I mean, he was a bit flat at the UK Arnold,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Um, but this show, he really nailed the peak, in my opinion. It's just one of those things now where he's just gonna have to now, it's just fine tuning everything. Um, when it comes down to it for E-Man, I mean, he could use like maybe a pound or two on, maybe a pound or two on the upper chest, give him a little more upper chest development, and then really try to fill out those rhomboids in his back. Um, 'Cause he has great insertions, great
Mhm.
detail, but just needs a bit more density. Just needs a bit more. His legs look great. Um, so I don't know what he did for that, but his look for his legs look a lot fuller than they typically
Yeah.
are. I would say stick with the bright colors. Colors matter, people. When you step on stage, colors can make or break your look. Can make you look smaller. No, people always like saying clothing black is slimming. So if that's the case, no, just know you're gonna look slim if you wear a black color, certain and with certain things, depending on how your physique looks. Now, if you're like a Vitor Chavez and you're blown out and you're huge, or a Carlos Ocran, it might not matter. But you're like, not everybody is them. So if you know you're not them, don't do it.
All right. So
Um,
let's get into the comparisons now of these top two guys.
mhm.
So it was close. I believe if I can go and check the, can we check the scorecards?
Yeah, the
I,
scorecard should be on that PC thing. It should be, yeah, there we go.
mm,
Okay.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't see
Emmanuel
them.
Hunter got,
Oh, okay. You
yeah, if
you
you
found
go
them.
to, yeah, uh, Emmanuel Hunter with 4 points, for the first place. Carlos Ocran 5 for second.
Oh, so it's a
Um,
1 point show.
yeah, 1 point difference. Yeah. One
Okay.
point difference. Jeremy Potvin 10, um, for third.
Okay. So
But 1 point difference between him and Amit.
okay. So third and
Yeah.
fourth are very close, and then first and second are very close.
Yeah, George is 11. Meat is ahead of George, because George has 15,
Okay.
Travis Yao 18. Yep,
Okay.
yep,
Well, so let's
yeah.
do those comparisons then. So between Carlos and E-Man, 1 point decision. So obviously some of the judges felt Carlos would get first too.
Uh-huh.
So where's Carlos beating E-Man?
Structurally, Carlos beats E-Man to a degree, but like I said, E-Man brought that great fullness in the shoulders, because Carlos is, I mean, he's not terribly taller than him, but
Yeah, they're about the
he
same
is
height.
taller. He's a smidge. He does have, and like has like crazy shoulder to waist ratio structurally, and then also in the
His
back,
back.
that density. I
Yeah.
feel like I said, so put it like this: Carlos has a very dense back with detail, with a decent amount of detail. But when E-Man turns around, he has a great back, great structure, and detail. So Carlos has density and detail. E-Man has detail and structure.
So what do you
So
classify as like good back structure? So why are you saying that E-Man's back
just one.
structure is better than Carlos?
So I put, well, the flow of it, how it comes down. So some guys, like if you see a Andre Dayu, his back
Mm,
kind of looks like just a big U from lat to here, just
yeah.
kind of wide. With E-Man and Carlos, their backs come down and into a nice good hourglass shape at the bottom.
Yeah.
So they have a great shoulder to waist ratio in that aspect. But then, like I said, now it's comparing apples to oranges when it comes to the judging. You see how close it is. Some judges like the density and the detail, but some guys like to have that more streamlined, a lot of detail coming out of the back, also while having that frame to match. So that's why it's like hard to decide
Yeah.
in the back pose, because it's like, which one do you like? Which this subjective? Which one does that judge like? Out of who? Like clearly they like more E-Man, but it's so close it could have went to Carlos, and we don't know who voted what.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, um, but like I said, that's really close. And they brought similar conditioning, in my opinion. It's just a different. It's similar conditioning, but difference in density. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see Carlos's erectors, massive.
Yeah.
E-Man's not massive, but they're dug out, they're there, and then it flows really well. That's what it is. It's like, at the end of the day, this is art. They want to see something nice. They want to see something pretty. Um, and it, like I said,
E-Man's
apples to
physique does look
oranges.
is a prettier physique for sure.
Yeah,
E-Man's
yeah, yeah.
structure and shape, but
Hmm.
Carlos was really big, really dense.
Yeah,
It
really.
actually made Emmanuel look a little small, like next to him.
Yeah, really, really, pretty dense, pretty wide. Like I said, like he has a great has great chest insertions, but if he had a bit more fullness to his chest, that would help him out immensely as well. The problem I have is that I can't sit here and say guys are perfect when clearly they didn't win, and then on top of that, it's like you can't say somebody's perfect. No one has ever been a perfect Mr. Olympia
Mhm.
ever. There's always something that someone can say. And that because we're humans, we're not robots. We just can't just poof, we're gonna look this way on stage all the time.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So that was a very close battle. I do agree that E-Man edged it out there. This is probably his best look so far this year, and he's had some great looks. But it's probably the best all around package.
yeah,
Um,
most definitely. And
okay. So
Carlos, like if Carlos brings in those changes, he's gonna be very like he was 15th last year at the Olympia.
yeah,
So if he brings the like he has a long he has, I mean, we have a long season until the Olympia. If he can bring in a bit of change, I don't know what his plans are, but if he can bring in some changes, make it to qualify and everything like that with this new system, I feel like he can be extremely dangerous.
yeah, definitely. And he's shown that because even the year before he got 15th, wasn't he in like 8th, something like that? He
Mhm,
was in the top 10,
yeah,
right? Yes.
hmm
So he's shown that when he comes in conditioned, he can definitely be up there with anybody. Um, I was actually at third and fourth, so that was between Jeremy and Amit. So that was a very close battle. So here's Jeremy by himself. Yep, and then we have Amit. The video quality is definitely not a fair comparison. This one's definitely much
yeah, it's
worse
not,
quality. But
yeah, not a fair comparison, but I can see it though.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So what do you think the different like, they have very different physiques too.
yeah,
So
very different physiques. Yeah,
how do you think the judges are breaking that one down?
they're breaking it down in terms of, in my opinion, in terms of flow and no confidence goes a long way on stage. Not saying Jeremy wasn't confident, but you can definitely see in his routine, he's a little bit stammered, not as confident in taking those poses, a tad bit of over posing, like I said, in that front pose and that front shot. Um, some things I would have left out. I wouldn't have done certain poses, just because it just didn't really highlight anything. And then when it came to like that over rotation, nah, I wouldn't have done that. When you hit that front post, stick that arm. Don't stir the pot. Don't know why he held his right arm up, but he held it up. This isn't the best pose for him.
Yeah.
Double movement. Don't really do that. Um, and yeah, too much flex in that right pec. In the tan, I don't understand why. I don't know what happened with this tan. Just extremely light. I don't. Yeah, I don't know why. What happened, but something must have happened. And then if he had a tiny bit more back density in the rhomboids, it would have been
Mm.
sent him a little bit further. But
So where does he beat
he,
Amit then? Because he did win, right? He got third and
yeah,
Amit got fourth. So
he is
yes.
ahead of
So
him.
where does he beat
Yeah,
him?
he has a much fuller fit. Like, but besides not having a tan, he still has a crazy structure.
Yeah.
Shoulders are bigger, chest is bigger. Um,
Waist is smaller.
abs Yeah, waist is smaller. Abs aren't as
Uh,
pretty, but he
yeah.
hits them very well, and they are really conditioned. It's his signature look, so he's not far off at all by anything, stretch of that imagination. I just feel like when Amit came out on stage, the stage presence just hit a lot better. And I get it when guys say like, "Oh, your posing routine doesn't matter." It absolutely does. It absolutely does. No matter how simple you make it, all these guys are doing simple routines. So this stage presence matters. Um, and and then on top of that, hitting the right poses as well. Um, when it comes down to it, though, like I said, Jeremy just has a way better structure than Amit, and also conditioning as well to go along with that. Even though he was missing a tan, that's whatever. Um, but at the end of the day, I wish he would have came with. I don't know. I said I just don't know what happened there. um, but yeah, so I mean,
So you
structurally,
think Jeremy should have been even farther ahead?
he could have been. He could have been. He could have challenged for that second place spot. Um, most definitely. He was missing things. I don't know what
Mhm.
happened. But at the end of the day, I would make some small posing changes for Jeremy, and I mean, he knows to get a tan. I don't know how to say
Yeah.
that, but other than that, structure. Like I said, he seemed like he came back and didn't miss a beat. So his physique looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I don't think we need to go look at George, but George was at the clear fifth place.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I think that was a good breakdown of the top five. 1 and 2, super close. Congrats to E-Man for taking it. Really, really good physique by him. And then third and fourth, also super close. Congrats to Jeremy for coming back and making such a great comeback after what a year he had last year. So that was really awesome to see. Do you have anything else you want to add before we leave?
No, not really. No. Oh well, I put like nah, I actually don't.
All right, cool. Well, that
I
was a
don't.
good Charlotte Pro wrap up. And we'll come back next week to talk about the next shows. All right.